Hey y'all, Matt here with Bobcat Bonsai, and today we are going to begin to wire up some of our cuttings that rooted this past year. If you remember in that video, we got these all potted up and everything. I did choose to leave this little piece because I may end up using it as dead wood later. I don't know yet. We'll see. But we have an eastern red cedar, we have a blue star juniper, and this one I believe was a juniper nana. I believe, but I can't remember for sure. So all we're going to do is just come in and add a little wire to each one of these and start getting them all into shape and stuff. So I'm going to start out here with the eastern red cedar and just basically drive a wire down in, come in, and just get a nice little wrap around it. This little guy has a ton of new growth this year too, which was absolutely awesome. I was really excited when I opened this up and these guys were all sprouted outwards as far as new growth and everything, because I wasn't sure. It was the first time I had done cuttings on a coniferous tree, and just having to ignore them and just kind of let them do their own thing forever was crazy to me. So really I'm not going to wire out any of the branches. None of them have any type of hardwood yet. These are all still baby greenwoods on here. So we're just going to take this and get a nice little twist and just begin to get some movement going in here, because over time we'll definitely be cutting this back and into something different than what it is currently. So that's all we're doing here, just a little bit of movement. It doesn't look like much at all. Sorry, it's got leaves all in here too, so doesn't look like much of all, but it gives you a little bit of something just to begin the growth pattern in it. That's all I wanted out of that one. This little guy, there's really not too much to do with this little guy right now. Really, it's going to be just trying to get a nice bend down into that one, because it's kind of kind of got a rougher look to it here for now. But we will use the bend, and that's how we are going to get a nice tight curl in here on this one. So I'm just going to take and just really bend it as I'm coming in, and we're just going to keep coming around with it. So now we took that big tall piece and we took it down into a little spiral like this, and now we've got that growing down, and we'll have a nice little tree that we can begin to style out of there. So now this little guy's done. So now we get into this little booger right here, and this little one is something else because it has some interesting styles here to it. What's going on is it's almost grown down to a point where it could be a raft, because this should be the top right here, and it grew all the way down, pointing in a downward motion, so it should be almost up like this. Just a interesting thought I thought I would share with you. So I think on this little guy, we are going to trim this one back a little bit. Let's see what we have on this backside. This backside, we have some nice little branching as well. We have a nice little one there. So I'm going to take this one back to right there. This one I'm going to take to here. And this one I'll take to here. Okay. So now it looks like I just have a little powder puff sitting right there hanging out. And that's pretty much all this thing is at this point. It's just a teeny tiny little powder puff. So I'm gonna have to just come in, cut a really tiny piece here. Because there's not much to go with on this one. I don't think that size wire is going to cut it. We're going to have to go with the thin wire and just hope we can get a good bend out of it. So all we're doing is trying not to pinch any of the other foliage as we come through here. Then we've got to work our way around this one. Man, everything was going smooth till I got here. Now all of a sudden I made my life difficult. Okay. One more run through here. Then we're actually going to track this one up and all the way to here, because that's where our leader is going to end up being, is way up and out here. So now we're going to take this and just give it a nice little bend around here. We've got some nice big old growth back in there. We'll let that go for now. And we're just going to kind of let it grow and fix itself back into an upwards motion like this again. That's all we're looking for out of this one. So everything else we compacted, and this one we actually pulled to try to make it stand taller again. I know this is a whole lot on here, but I don't want to cut too much more foliage off yet, so I should, just to be safe. We'll just come through and just nip all the ends off just to make sure that it doesn't push any more growth just yet towards the bottom. This will honestly end up being a new branch right inside here, this little guy. And then these other little ones in here will end up becoming new branches as well. And then these thicker guys will end up going away as time goes on. But that's it. We've got these 3 little trees right here, and they were the work for today. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you really enjoy my content, you should hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I release a new video. Thank you.